YouTube, it's Makai Block with Limitless North. Quick concept for you. What pays better, hard work or smart work? I want to hear your thoughts on that. Obviously, you have guys like Gary Vaynerchuk who have worked incredibly hard their entire life, and it's very clearly paid off for them. If you listen to his story, it was all about the amount of content that he put out. He had a vision. He worked like crazy all through his 20s into his 30s, and he finally started to get traction after doing so much effort and so much work. And here he is, 20 years later, still doing it, still killing it, absolutely crushing it. And so that's a testament to hard work paying off, right? But what about the flip side of that? That there are people out there that can do very little work. They can do hard work when it comes to the right stuff, but they put most of their time into thinking about what work they should do, what kind of smart work they should do, and they really focus on minimizing their effort in every other area of their life. So in this instant, they would simply have other people doing their work for them. They would find agents to do the work, to bring connections, to bring sales reps, things like that. And they would really just minimize every aspect of their life that they possibly could, and they would focus on one or two things that they're incredible at and only do those things specifically. So of course they work hard on the things that they need to, but they're not out there just hustling all the time. And I just want to get your thoughts. What do you think pays better? What do you think gives you a greater return? Working smart and only doing one or two very consistent things that you're capitalizing on your strengths. You're not doing tons and tons and tons of work and putting content out in every way, shape, and form possible. You're just being like a sniper and laser targeting one or two tasks. Does that pay better, or does it pay off more to be a hustler, to be a grinder? A lot of us pride ourselves in our hustle and our grind, and so we'll just sit there and dial in on everything that we possibly can. We'll do as much work as we possibly can on every aspect of our lives. We'll put out tons of content. We'll just cover the internet with things that are pointing people to us, but we don't really ever pay attention to what is it that's going to get us the greatest results. We just do everything, and we hope that over the course of a handful of years, our hustle and our grind will have covered so much ground that we'll be absolutely everywhere, and it'll be impossible to ignore us, and we'll have to have success because of the sheer amount of hard work that we put in. Two schools of thoughts. I'm not saying either one is right or wrong, but it's food for thought, and I really want you to think about it, because so many of us just don't even make a choice. We don't think about which one is going to pay off better. We just go straight into hard work. Or some of us are lazy by nature, and we just go straight into thinking somebody else will do this work for me. I'll find a agent, I'll find sales reps, I'll find other people that do all the hard work for me, and I'll just focus on one thing that I'm really good at and sit back and let the rest happen. People can get successful either way. There's great examples both ways, but I think the most important thing that you need to take away is which way are you going to go and why. You need to have an answer for why you're working the way you're working. If you're just putting in late hours, you're working 16 to 18 hour days consistently, you're not getting any sleep, you're staying up till 4 in the morning, all the time working hard, and you're just burned out, but you're passionate about what you're doing, that's great. You can do that for 10 years. You can do that for a decade. You can do that for 15 years. That's the way that I have typically worked. I've put in so much effort into my clothing brand, into everything that I do, and I just typically canvas everything that I possibly can. But in the last handful of years, I've really tried to make a shift to just being smart about what I do and only minimizing the amount of work that I do into the things that are going to get me the greatest return for the effort put into them, and not just doing everything, because it's great to be everywhere. It's great to canvas the entire internet with your products and your content, and you get noticed that way, but it also is so draining and so wearing that I'm thinking maybe a better way is just to laser focus on the one or two things or three things that are my biggest strengths, and simply accomplish a few things that I know are going to get me where I want to go in life. I love working, I love the hustle, I love the grind. I know you guys do too, but why are you working the way you're working? Or if you don't and you're really just thinking, I'm really good at this one thing and I'm just going to sit back and hope that everybody comes and pays attention to me because I'm so good at that one thing, maybe you need to put a little extra effort into it. Maybe you need to go do a few other things as well. So I hope that encourages you guys. What are my biggest strengths? I love the creative process. I'm doing a live video stream right now, so if you guys are watching this later, you may not know that people are putting comments up right now, but my biggest strengths are the creative process. I love to create content. I love to create art. I have started my clothing company when I was 16. It's Elevated Clothing. For me, if I could put out content all day long, new products, videos, getting athletes to do creative videos and stuff like that, that's what I would focus on. But instead, I have to worry about printing product. I have to worry about running my business. I have to hire people. I have to manage people. So there's all these things that I have to do. And then in the meantime, I kind of push my strengths to the back because I don't get to create content all the time. I don't get to create art all the time. I don't get to create new products all the time. And so, is the brand moving forward when I'm not doing new designs all the time, or is it moving forward because I have so many people pushing in other directions for me, and I'm consistently canvassing the internet with content, with pictures and getting photo shoots lined up and things like that? It's a big question, but right now, if I could do one thing, it would really be just focusing on putting out new products consistently, pushing those products out to my list, growing my list. I have a great mailing list. I have thousands of customers that love my brand, that pay attention to what I'm doing. And so if I could just consistently feed them new content and new products and push it out to my list and focus on growing my list, if I could do those two things, I know it would give me so much more distance than everything else I've done in the last decade working on my brand. And I've come to that realization over the last maybe 2 years, maybe 2 or 3 years. I've come to the realization that everything else I've done with the brand has been great. It built the brand, it got the exposure, it got a great name to it, but I didn't need to work that hard. I didn't need to pull so many all-nighters. I didn't need to grind quite so much. And if I had identified the few things that would have gotten me farther than anything else that I was doing, and if I would have put all that hard work and effort into those one or two things, I could have gone so much farther in what I'm doing. How do you see growing your business at a much younger age? I may have missed your first comment there, Mindset Influencer, but how do you grow your business at a young age? That's kind of what I'm talking about right now. I would put so much more thought into what you're doing rather than just hard work. Especially at a young age, we have all this energy and vibrancy about us, and we think, man, I can just go crush this. I'm going to put so much effort into what I'm doing that there's no way I won't be successful. But then you'll find yourself 10 years down the road having, just really spent yourself pursuing your passion, but you maybe haven't gone the distance that you thought you would have when you were younger. And so what I would really encourage you to do is identify 1 or 2 or maybe 3 or 4 things total that you'll put all of your energy and effort into, because I identified 20 or 30 things that I wanted to do. Build the website, blog posts, new product designs, getting athletes, being at events selling, printing, all these things, advertising. I tried to get good at so many things, and so I spent 18-hour days consistently working on my brand for a decade, and it's great. I can see the effort, I can see the benefits and the results of that effort. But if I would have just identified 2 or 3 things and only put my effort there for a decade, I'd be so much farther than I am now. And it would have made such a difference. I would be, much more well-rested all the time and have a lot more time for life and relationships and things that really matter. I mean, business matters, but that's not what life is truly about, right? That is a support for the rest of our life. If we can get a good income and get rich and wealthy and all that stuff, that is a support for what life is truly about. And so many of us spend so much of our lives chasing wealth, chasing income, that we don't have time to really build the rest of our lives in the way that we desire to. So for all of you guys out there that are young, just spend a little bit more time identifying the couple of things that are going to push your business forward. And for all you guys out there that are older, that are still working on your businesses, maybe you've slowed down, maybe you need to put that hustle back in it, maybe you need to start grinding more, or maybe you need to do the same thing where you just take a step back, look at everything that you've done over the last couple of years of working on your business and your life, and say, what are the things that have gotten me the farthest, and can I just put my energy and effort into those things? And furthermore, can I leverage other people? I think of friends of mine here in LA that are actors and actresses, and they have agents. They don't hustle, they don't work that hard because they don't need to be out getting auditions all the time. They have someone that's going to do that for them. and they're well rested, and they have a great life, and they have a lot of space for themselves because they say, you know what, I'm going to wait until my agent sends me an audition, and then I'll go kill that audition. I'll do amazing at that. And I won't work so hard on every other area of my life, because the most important thing for me as a model or an actress is to be well rested, to be in shape, to be fit, to be healthy, to have nice skin, all this stuff. So I'm going to sleep well, I'm going to work out, I'm going to eat well, and I'm just going to enjoy life and not stress, and I'll let somebody else bring the work to me, and then I'll go kill that work when it gets there. So that's one method of doing that, and that's okay. But you know, sometimes we don't have those resources, and we need to go put in the grind ourselves. But I want to hear from you guys. So what do you think is more profitable? Hard work, consistently, just grinding it out, being about your hustle? You know, you see all these posts online on Instagram and Reddit and all over the internet about, you know, working a 9 to 5 or working 24/7, you know, so that the hustle and the grind is one way to go, but the other way is smart work and just really relaxing and letting somebody else do all the hard work for you, and you just focus on 1 or 2 or 3 things consistently, and you create space in your life and have that space. What do you think will get you farthest? And I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate your comments and questions, and I will talk to you soon.